So the idea came about because what we realized that there's so many professionals and there's only so much work that can be given at any point in time. But what you do realize that a lot of other people or those professionals who don't get the opportunity to work on the project, they don't get to have the exposure. And so the idea here is to make sure that there is knowledge sharing and that other people who are not on projects can also gain insights of what goes on in these mega projects. I think relative to other developing countries, I think we're there and thereabout. But I think relative to most developed countries, I think we are lagging behind. And I think because in terms of regulations, it's not something that is yet so much enforced from a planning point of view and so on. Whereas in other countries, you cannot put up any new building if it's not compliant with the green building standards. I think the first is the design, actually, because when you start the project, if you don't design everything that is going to go into the project, then it's not going to happen during the project. And then the second issue is obviously the water, in terms of if you're building new bathrooms, like you had that we have one of the largest roof water collection systems. So we did that, and there's a water treatment plant on site so that we use the water to irrigate plants and so on. And then the other thing is transportation, making it easily accessible for public transport. We'll be following that up. We're building a great taxi rank to encourage even a better transport access. Energy, we already built the roof so that it can accommodate a solar plant, and that's one of the things that we will be doing immediately. Waste, also the compactor, as you saw, it's one of the first in the country, so that was also quite an easy one to put in place. Yeah, and then I think part of the design is the disciplines with the contractor in terms of how they recycle the waste that they pick up on site, so that we kill less trees and produce less cement. Yeah. No, size doesn't play a role. I think balance sheet maybe does, but I think the size of the center, no, doesn't play a role. I think the most important thing is the design, to work with the professionals. Like things like, and it's cheaper, by the way, because it's cheaper to put in glass and rather than lots of bricks. Then you have more light, then you have to use less electricity. So no, it's not a function of size, just really around the leadership and the willingness to do that. Yeah. We have very exciting projects where we are going to be integrating, hopefully, a rail with an existing shopping center. I can't say too much now,
Okay.
but I think that is going to be the ultimate, to probably be the first in the country where you'll have rail, taxi, and buses, and as well as retail, all happening in one space by a private developer. So that's something that we're quite excited about, and we talking to a rail operator for us, of course, about that. So that's something that we're quite excited about. And of course, the other major thing that we're doing in terms of new development is in Mimosa, the old flats we used to have there. We have since stopped taking people to stay in those apartments, and we are putting up a park for the use by the community as a green space, so that it's not just bricks and mortar, because we really do embrace green building and green standards. So we'll be putting up a park in the middle of Bloemfontein for use by the community.